Studiobox strives to make remote video production talent-proof. This is MacVoices. This edition of MacVoices is supported by Kolide. Kolide sends employees important, timely, and relevant security recommendations for their Linux, Mac, and Windows devices, right inside Slack. Meet compliance objectives in a remote-first world without resorting to rigid device management. Try Kolide for 14 days free. Visit kolide.com/MacVoices to sign up today. That's KOLIDE.com/MacVoices. Enter your email when prompted to receive your free Kolide gift bundle after trial activation. Kolide.com/MacVoices. MacVoices is in Las Vegas for NAB. I'm Chuck Joyner. Folks, we're in the Studiobox booth talking to Max about something that I haven't seen before and is very unique and looks like it's powered by a Mac Mini. Good to meet you, Max. Thanks so much for the time.
Nice to meet you as well.
So tell us about Studiobox.
All right, so when COVID lockdowns shut all production down, my partner and I got inventing, essentially, and we figured out how to control lights, camera, audio, everything you need for a full shoot with a Mac Mini. We packed it up into a shippable case, and we ship them all over the world now. We can remotely access the Mac Mini, dial in camera settings, lighting settings, bring that into a Zoom, bring it into Live View or any other transmission software, and shoot remotely. We don't need anybody on set. They're super easy to set up. We can send it right to talent. And that's what a Studiobox is.
Well, it sounds so simple, but it's also so compact, and it looks like everything's there. I mean, the light's in the lid. You've got the camera that pops up. The Mini's down below. It looks like you have plug-in connections for anything that maybe I provide or any additional hardware you want to use. I mean, it's a brilliant idea.
Thanks. Yeah, we can expand. We can add up to 7 additional cameras, and we can control all of them. So if you have a multicam shoot, no problem. We have 4 audio channels. So right now we've got a shotgun mic in one channel and a wired lavalier in a second channel, but we can expand if you want an overhead boom. We've got HDMI outs, so we could do a secondary monitor if you want an off-camera interview, more of like a doc-style interview. And then all we need is internet. So we either plug into an Ethernet, your Wi-Fi, or we can send an industrial hotspot and skip your network entirely.
So you could basically send this thing anywhere, have it set up in minutes, and the interviewee doesn't have to do anything else really than open the box and plug a few things in.
Yeah, we made it as talent-proof as possible. In early COVID times, everybody was starting to send out drop kits where you'd have to get on a FaceTime and explain how to plug in a ring light and get talent to stack a MacBook on like a bunch of coffee table books or something to get headroom right. And we decided to just take all of that out of it. So the only thing somebody needs to do is you put your box on a table, you open the lid. It's already almost at eye line for everybody if you're sitting at a table and it's a dining room table or an office desk in your office chair. They plug in the power, connect to the internet, and hit the power button. And that's it. So our operators will see the box come online, and then they'll remote into the box and start dialing in everything. And then they'll bring the box into whoever the client is, whether that's our studio or just a Zoom link. So the client now gets to see the live camera feed. They can conduct their interview. They can direct their scene. They can do whatever they need all remotely.
Excellent, excellent. This is so very cool. Now, the question I obviously have to ask is what kind of pricing is there for something like this?
So far we've been acting as a rental house and a production company. We rent the box for $1,200 a day. There's shipping involved, but we always want to be less than the cost of sending a crew on site because that's what this is. It's lower price point, easier to set up. You're not spending hours setting up gear and moving gear around. And then it's also greener to send a box instead of, let's say, a 3-person interview crew anywhere. Yeah.
Well, and especially, the fact that a lot of the interviewees are not going to have any technical chops. So tell me about the control software you're talking about, because you're saying you can control it from, I guess, your office or your wherever.
Yeah, so we're about a year and a half old company. When we started putting all these pieces together, we found that every single item had a different program to run in the background. So what we've been doing is we've been training cinematographers to run these like 8 or so programs, but we've started developing software to put all of that into one dashboard so that we can start selling boxes, we can rent them for long term, and by creating this software, it just reduces that learning curve of how to use a box, and we can get these in the hands of anybody. So.
Yeah, that's great, because again, you take all the local requirements out, you control everything as needed.
Yeah, making it as simple for talent as possible was the goal. Our first client was Masterclass, and so we needed something to match their production value and that we could send to, an 80-year-old Nobel Prize winning poet who has no idea how to plug in a ring light. So it had to be super simple.
That's very nice. That's very nice. The website where folks can go to learn more.
Yeah, it's studiobox.co.
Excellent. Thank you. And I just noticed the sign behind you. It's the NAB Product of the Year 2022 nominee. Definitely.
Yeah, fingers crossed we win this one.
Good luck.
Thanks a lot.
Folks, I'm Chuck Joyner. We are at NAB in Las Vegas. We will be back with more soon. Thanks for watching. Visit MacVoices.com for show notes and to connect with Chuck on social media. Get involved in our Facebook group or like our Facebook page, and get more out of your Apple tech with MacVoices Magazine, free on Flipboard and on the web. And if you find value in it all, consider supporting us through either our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/MacVoices or by making a one-time donation via the PayPal link on our front page and in the show notes of each episode. You will join these fine people who help bring you Mac Voices. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media at backbeatmedia.com. Bandwidth provided by CashFly at cashfly.com.